Hey everyone, Dragon Empress here. All my pickles up in here in this place. All my pickles up in here in this place. I'm sorry to bring up that cringe. I'm just happy today. But either way, I would like to talk about a character that I talked about before on this channel, along with Ichijiro Toteki, and his name is Hitoshi Shinso. Shinso! Yeah, he's pretty much a character I really like, but the problem is he doesn't have enough development or personality, especially character development and backstory. Hardly anyone in My Hero Academia has a backstory, and everyone treats it like the best anime ever. Don't get me wrong, I'm obsessed with this anime. You could tell most of my videos are about this, such as Vamp Sawa and all that, and Bakutoga and Tentelli. So yeah, the problem I have with Shinso is that he's not that much of a character. For example, he wants to be a hero. Why? Well, what are his motivations? Let's see.
I'll be a hero.
So, he's a hero just because he wants to be a hero? There's no deep motivation behind it, like getting rich like Oshako, or making her parents happy? Not even trying to be number one because they're jealous of, like, All Might and Deku, like, Bakugo? No genuine, nice motivation behind it, like wanting to save kids, or make people smile, like making Eri smile, like Izuku does. Just, I want to be a hero, that's it. Backstory or anything, it doesn't even have to be a dark backstory, even though I made a dark backstory for him. The character design, I've got no complaints about it. That is a beautiful character design. The only nitpick I have is, why is his forehead so huge? I get that he's smart, but his forehead is humongous! And I love it, the fact that he looks kind of creepy when he smiles. I really freaking love that. I made it a running gag in my stories. But we're gonna get to my stories soon. Okay. I really love that freaking hair. Purple frizzy hair. That is so adorable. I'm gonna go on the wiki right now, so I'm gonna see his personality. Let's see that personality! He's a stoic and straightforward person with an innate ability to spark conversation with anyone despite holding a reserved and quiet attitude most of the time. Wait, that doesn't make sense. If you're very quiet, like I was in high school, and you can't talk to anyone, how do you hold a conversation? And you're able to spark conversations. When I was in high school, I wasn't able to spark a single conversation except a minor hi. And it only took me dating to actually make friends there. But, like, he should be the opposite. He should be, like, afraid to talk to people or something. Yeah, heck, he even directly talks to Deku, and Deku doesn't even have to ask him. How is he able to hold a conversation if he's supposed to be so-called reserved and quiet? That's what Ichijiro did! This is why these two are perfect for each other. But never mind my shipping, back to Shinso. He knows how to manipulate others with words. How, if he's reserved and quiet? How? Does he observe them? Was he, like, abused as a child? Because that's the only way that'll make sense. And his parents held conversations with him. That's the only way this'll make sense. Again, I keep going to my story for this, but it's a great example. Someone's backstory could actually flesh the character out and make sense with their personality instead of outright saying,
You're lucky enough to have a heroic quirk! It'll be so easy for you to reach your goal!
How? It makes no sense. He does not seem to mind doing something underhanded if it means he can claim a victory in a fight. Okay, so he's a victory type of person. Yet, why does he want to be a hero? Why? Hitoshi desires to become a pro-hero more than anything, with a deep longing to disprove those doubt his heroic intentions. Okay, so who doubted his heroic intentions? Nobody in this series? And he has no interest in making friends? Was he bullied? Did Class 1C bully him? This makes no freaking sense! And I have one more thing I'd like to read off the wiki. Due to having his brainwashing quirk perceived as evil throughout his whole life, Hitoshi has been somewhat feared by those who are aware of his power and has been discriminated against solely because of the quirk he was born with. This led to him becoming resentful of those who had quirks more associated with hero work. So, wait, he was thought of as evil? Since when did anyone in the anime or in the manga called him evil or disassociated with him? Sure, Class 1C stayed silent around him in the anime, but they still saw him as an equal. Shoot, people even cooperated with him and worked with him in the licensing exam. 1B really liked him, so who's treating him as evil? Who's labeling him as evil? It just makes no sense to me. And this is when we delve into Never Alone. I won't spoil the entire story since it's pretty freaking good and I'm proud of the way I wrote it. But I'm just going to say something about the parents, something about Class 1C, and yes, I completely made them up. I made up their personalities. I didn't make up their designs since they were already in the show. And about Shinso's personality in general and backstory. And no, it's not just about him getting together with Ichijiro. It's about more than just that. I put his backstory and I put his parents in. Yes, I'm dead serious. I made up parents for him. And I put his motivation on why he wanted to become a hero, and him actually helping people, including Mineta. Yes, I'll get to that. But for now, let's begin! So just a warning, this story contains a lot of dark topics, and of course it's not for kids. This anime wasn't for kids in the first place. It first starts off with him in the living room. It shows that without his parents, he has a lot of freedom. He could watch TV, he could get his hair as messy as he wants, and I'm talking about Shinso here. And it's until his parents actually arrive, that's when he starts to comb his hair back. He makes sure his clothes isn't wrinkled. He turns off the TV since he was watching adult shows. And he smiles very forcefully, like nothing went wrong. The backstory comes in later. He was abused by his parents to never use his quirk on them, and never use his quirk too much in general, since not only do they know it gives them a headache, but they think brainwashing is an evil quirk. And that's when the discrimination comes in. And those two actually discriminated him from using his quirk since brainwashing was considered evil. They are also strict on both keeping the house clean and him keeping the house clean when they're gone. And they were abusive in a physical way as well. In one chapter, his mother tricked him into burning his hand on the stove. Jeez. And despite this, they still want their son alive. They still love their son, but it's just in a very wrong way. His mother is a pro hero and a punk rock artist. He still listens to her music sometimes, and pretty much got his sense of fashion from her despite not liking her all that much. His father, he was pretty much, and still is, a food advertisement designer. So he was more reserved and more gentlemanly, but only when his son broke something did he went crazy and tried to beat his son. In Class 1C, they're not that much better. They also stereotype him as evil because of his brainwashing quirk. They bully and belittled him, which is why he became emotionless. That's what motivates him to be a hero. He doesn't want kids or teens to go through the same thing he did. He saw Mineta was sexually abused by Midnight in the story, so he wanted Mineta to at least feel better and at least checked on him and protected him from being attacked by Midnight again in one of the later chapters. He meets up with Ichijiro Tocheki. Just like me dating, he becomes more social, more aware of people. He becomes more close to Izuku too. and connected with their feelings. And I won't spoil what happens to the father by the end of the story, but it's very heartwarming. By the way, the father's name is Hitoshi Shinso. His quirk is levitation, and the mother's quirk, Yasha, is marionette. She could put marionette strings on anything, and the father could control stuff with his mind. So those mixed together equals hypnotism. So yeah, it pretty much fleshed out the parents very well, and give this recommendation on Wattpad, since some people say there's nothing good on Wattpad these days. Trust me, you gotta dig deep to see it. But yeah, check out my Wattpad account, the Tigress, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.